and they are shocked the minute they hear this. Attention. Again, the care and the concern with which God created the human out of the man, the gentle breath, the creation of the most suitable and perfect companion, tells us about a God who is personable, caring, loving, and good. God created the woman out of the affection he had for the man. He wants the man to be happy and to be fully alive. Affection, my dear friend, is another quality anybody in any relationship must strive to possess. You cannot love that which you have not invested in. And you must not destroy that which you have invested in. God loved the human person because they are his own creatures and reflects his own image. The minute I bring out my mind to say, I want to marry you, I pick you in the midst of hundreds and thousands of people there. I must make out time to invest in you. I must bring out my mind to love and appreciate that person and show that affection. How often do people lack love in our midst? Each time you listen to their voice, it's like nobody loves them. Nobody takes their time to invest. Rather, we see the other person as a property. Every time we are angry, we can discard that property. No, my dear friend. Friendship, marriage is not just a status thing. Marriage is not a superior getting involved with an inferior. No. It's two friends who have walked the journey up to an extent, and they decide and choose to continue the rest of the journey together. The quality of the friendship determines how beautiful the marriage will be. According to Counselor Mesa, he says, friendship is to have same taste, same interest, same ideal, to have one mind in two bodies. Why marriage unites the body? Marriage is two bodies become one flesh. Every human being is made up of body and soul, body and mind. So why marriage unites the body, it does not unite the mind. It is friendship that unites the mind. Friendship is to have one mind in two bodies. There is nothing conjugal in the friendship. The conjugal life is found only in the marital life. There's nothing like sexual connotation in friendship. No, in the ideal sense. Friendship is based on trust, and it flourishes through confidence. If there are things that bothers you, which you have told nobody but only one person, that is your best friend. If there are people you have spoken to, these are your friends. The fact that I move with you is not a sign that you are my friend. Friendship is selective. Love of neighbor is obligatory. You cannot choose who. In fact, the scripture tells us you must love your neighbor. Pray for those who will persecute you. But you must choose your friends. It's selective. So the minute I bring out my mind, I choose you, then I must invest in you. I must go all out to show that love. Love does not destroy its own. Look at it this way. Imagine in the secondary school, we have this group of friends, and all of a sudden we are walking, one of us in the team is being chased by another person from another side of the team. What do? We form a kind of bridge, and that person, gentility of God. This is appreciation. God created the human person out of his own free will. God himself shows us an example when he took a look at everything he has done and he said, all was good. It was in appreciating the human person that God placed him in charge of everything in existence. Every human being who enters into a relationship must learn to appreciate. We lack the sense of appreciation in our world today. We don't understand the difference between a right and that which is right and that which is obligatory and that which is a privilege. We think everything we are entitled to it. It's not true. It's the grace of God. A man heard a very wonderful homily. He said that the scripture was about the prodigal son, and the priest drew their attention to the elder brother. The story of the elder brother who was doing everything and was not appreciated. So he came back home this day. Because every time visitors come, he will say to the wife, go to the wardrobe, take some cash, give to that person. So that day he thought to himself that let him even do something for the wife. he has been doing for others. Because very often we neglect our own. There's this presumption that people who live with us enjoy. As such, we don't give them anything. I was sent to school, but they say my father is a rich man. My father gave me 20,000 when I was going to school. My uncle's child, they say, is a poor man. My uncle's child came to greet my father because he was going to school. My father gave him 20,000 because that is what he gave to his own child. My uncle's son now went to greet our auntie and said, "Auntie, I'm going to school." That one gave him 10,000. Me too, I heard that our auntie has given him, and I went to greet my auntie. I said, "Auntie, I'm going to school. Auntie, I want to go now. Auntie, I'm about to go." She did not give me anything. And we now went to our cousin again, another second cousin. That one gave that one 20,000. And I went. That instead of that one to give me something, he was asking, did my father send him to me? He wanted to even collect the small one in my pocket. And both of us now went to school. I came to school with 20,000. He came to school with 40,000. Which of us now has the rich parent? We presume a lot that our people around us are comfortable. This man, this day now went home and gave the wife 10,000 naira. The woman now is this what your mate are giving to others? What do you think will happen to that man? You drop the spirit. The same is reciprocated in the life of the woman. You pick a very fine woman that every time she's walking on the road, everybody acknowledges her. Everybody wants her, but he has chosen you. And he has sacrificed everything for you. Someday she said to herself, "Oh, how did I get to this place? I need to give myself a treat." She goes to the salon, stays 3 hours to prepare her hair. Then she makes the nail. She goes to look for this neat clothes that she has never looked. Now she remembered the shoe. She had a very nice outlook, pour perfume all around her. Then did the very lovely dish that the husband loved. Then the man was coming in and he knocks on the door and he said, "Darling," with a smile, "you're welcome." And the man said, "Are you going out?" He said, "No, I'm not going out." She says, "Okay, maybe he doesn't understand." He flings the hair. The man does not notice. He opens the door. He serves the man very well. He puts the nail so that he can see the nail as he's serving the food. The man does not notice. The man asks, "Is today our wedding anniversary?" The woman said, "No, darling, just enjoy your meal." Serves her. The man is scared. He has checked. She's not going out. Today is not wedding anniversary. He doesn't know what all these things are for. He sits down. He wants to watch television and is good. The woman now decides to do a little bit of catwalk. Since the man is sure that it's not anniversary and she's not going, the next thing the man said is that, "Why are you not disturbing everybody in the house?" All she wanted was, "Darling, you look gorgeous." Finish. You must choose your words, because if you were working with somebody the other day and you say, "This woman is fantabulous," you cannot use fine for your wife. You must use something higher than the compliment you gave somebody outside. Appreciation. There are many people who are dying in the marriage because they are not appreciated. I haven't looked at all this, therefore, marriage is an eternal sacrament. In this context of caring and faithful God that we reflect on marriage and family in today's gospel, in the Catholic context particularly, the sacramentality of marriage means that in their marital relationship, couples they reflect the same love, fidelity, respect, honor that Christ shows towards us. This is why when the Pharisees insisted on the legality of divorce according to the Mosaic law, Jesus said, but from the beginning of creation, Jesus stresses that in reality, the marital covenant is meant to reflect God's love for God's people. This is precisely the reason that the Catholic Church does not consider divorce as a theological possibility. Because if we say that divorce is a possibility, then we also say that God can divorce God's people. Marriage is just a reflection of the relationship between God and his people. And he's a faithful God. He's a covenant-keeping God. He doesn't turn back on his words. Now, let me explain it like this. Imagine in my company, I was sent to go and purchase biro. And they specify blue biro. And I went to this marketer and I say, I want to buy 1 million pieces of biro. Do you have? He said, yes. I go back to my company, I get the requisition form signed, I get the approval, and I get the payment. I come to this man, I pay the 1 million naira for the 1 million biro. I get to my office, and after using the biro for a while, I now discover that 5 of them were blue, 5 of them were black. And the company was mad at me. I had to come back to the marketer. I said, Oga, I told you I wanted 1 million blue biro. He said, yes, I know, you said so. He said, but you gave me 500 black. He said, yes, it's the same thing. I said, no, it's not the same. I specified I wanted 100. If you do not have 1 million, return. Will it be reasonable to say, if the man does not have 1 million biro, you return it? Will it be reasonable? Should he accept it? I can't hear your answer. Why? Because you specified that you wanted blue and he gave you the wrong thing. So that was deceit. So every law and every human reason will say, if you return it, you should collect it. Am I right? Now look at the second scenario. Imagine I come to that man and I say to you, I want blue biro, 1 million, and he gives me 1 million blue biro, and I go and use it. And after 1 year, I get fed up of the biro, and I say I want to return it. Should the marketer collect it from me? Are you sure? Now, the first one is annulment. The second one is divorce. The first one, in annulment, we are saying that there are certain things that if I had known that these things were there, I wouldn't have contracted this marriage. Whether I know or I don't know, the fact that those things exist will nullify that contract. The terms of the contract remains void because ab initio, that person knows that he does not have that which you have specified that you are looking for. So by giving you what you have not asked for is a pure deceit. And because he has had that deceit in his mind, it renders the contract null and void. But in the second instance, because that contract has been signed and all agreements have fulfilled everything, you cannot come back to it. Now, let us apply it again practically. Imagine in the traditional wedding, if you want to wear somebody, you go to the family, you collect bride price, everything. Now, if you don't want again, you go back because it's just exchange of words. Somebody can say, you did not understand what I was saying very well, or you did not hear me very well. So they will use words again, scatter everything, break calabash, everybody will go. They now say, since the human person is not trustworthy in his words, let's write it down. So they will go to court, they will write it. At times, when they no longer agree on what, they'll go back to court and go and undo, cancel that thing which they have written and say, no. I was not in my right frame. Maybe I was drunk. I was not happy. They'll cancel it. Now, when they now say, okay, since man cannot rely on his words, and we are not sure of what he has written, let us go to the Supreme God. So they will now come to God. Remember, on wedding day, the couples are the celebrants. Every other person are witnesses. And in every other process, if you don't want again, you have to go back. So in marriage, if you don't want again, you have to go back to God. Now, one way I know that people used to go back to God is when they are dead. Now, when you die and you go back to God and you go and put your case, you need witnesses. You now call me, Father, come and testify. You are not that do anything. I'll not say to you, okay, wait first, I'm not ready to die now. When I'm ready, I'll come and testify. That case will be pending until I die. Then they will now call you, one or two of you that attended the wedding, could say, Father is not ready now. You come and testify. Will you go? So marriage will just be there forever until death do us part. And the worst part is that death is not even an end. Death is only a change of life. So marriage, therefore, is an eternal sacrament. Because God who joined us will never separate us. He doesn't go back on his words. If this is true, therefore, one must be careful to prepare well before entering the marriage life. There are 4 stages of preparation. The first is the remote stage, which is for children below the ages of 12. Children learn from what they observe in the family, a period to instill human values and interpersonal social relationship. At this level, you begin to teach your children values. There is a disconnect in this aspect. Because parents don't have time for their children. They can no longer balance between their professional life and their family life. They no longer understand between that which is important and that which is urgent. We are always seeking that which is urgent at the detriment of that which is important. By the time all of us come to table, everybody's coming with a gadget and everybody's talking to somebody outside while all of us were sitting together. No connection. At the end of the day, nobody learns anything. And when they come to church, they say to me, Father, pursue them. They are not dressing well. And it's not my work. Because the church is a place where both sinners and saints come in. When the sinners come and they see the saints, they rearrange their head. So it is the function of the parents to do that work before they come to church. Mom is if somebody is not living well, say, come and see your brothers and your sisters. Then rearrange your head. Simple. Don't pass your responsibilities to me. No. Pay attention. Again, there's the proximate stage, which is for teenagers. Children compare what they have learned from their home with that which their other friends have learned. It is a stage of self-rediscovery, preparing for specific sacramental knowledge of moral and spiritual disposition of the sacrament. They study the conjugal sexuality and responsible parenthood, sound education that will help them to manage their lives properly. From this level, you begin to hand some level of responsibilities to your children so that they know how to manage people. They know how to live with people. In growing up, our parents will tell us, my friend, go and play with your friends. Today, the computer games are no longer allowing us to play with one another. So we must develop ways in which children must learn to live with their brothers and sisters. Like I said to people, before you marry in Nigeria, spend some time abroad. Maybe go and spend 2 years in America or in Europe so that you can know how to handle women like egg. Handle with care. When you slap one woman, you go to prison, then your head will reset. When you in Nigeria, when a woman does something, you pursue the woman. Outside Nigeria, if anybody doesn't, it's the man that will leave. So by the time you want to talk, you think well. You don't want anything that will make trouble. Men do school runs as women do school runs outside Nigeria. It's not a matter of fact that you'll be reading newspaper, you'll be giving command, we are going late. Then only one person will bet the child, cook food, sweep house, arrange everything. Then you say we are going late. Remember, the man owns the job. The woman is only the helpmate. It means you are the owner of the job. It is your function to carry pikin. It is your function to cook. It is your function to work. As you are cooking, washing, you not tell the helper to say, help me do this one. That is helpmate. But what we see in Nigeria is like the helpmate takes up all the responsibilities while the other person is just there and analyzing and criticizing. No. All these things begin from teenage. The kind of toys we buy for our children to go a long way to affect them. For girls, we buy those affective toys, doll. For guys, we buy all those competitive toys, cars. They grow up learning all those things. They need points of verification so that when anything happens, they can come to us for clarification. Then there is the immediate preparation stage, which all of us know, the dates and the curtain. A time set aside to go deeper in our knowledge for each other. Then there's one aspect, even after the marriage life, then there must be upgrade, there must be seminar, there must be marriage enrichment. How long, how far, those of you who are married, when last did you go for seminars to upgrade yourselves? But all of us know that in our offices, from time to time, we take refresher courses. Because the human mind can be so exasperated that at times we are so stressed. And when we are stressed, everything hits at us. In order to help, there are simple things we must learn from today that can help us to relax the tension. Don't be too friendly with the complementary sex. I am not saying the opposite sex. Because in theology, I do not say man or woman is the opposite of man. They complement each other. The opposite of the human person is the beast. But in English, they will say man, word and opposite, man, woman, English. But in theology, they complement because it is from the ribs of the man that the woman was taken. So they are the same. One is not higher than the other. We only use those terms in human frailty. They complement. The woman is not less a human being because she's a female. No. The man is not a superior being because he's a man. No. In fact, science tells us that the woman is even stronger than the man. In many cases, men die faster than women. If your wife died, the man may not last a few months before dying. If the man died, the woman can even live for the next 20 years. This is simple science, so I'm not the one doing it, so don't be too friendly with your complementary sex. This is where a lot of married couples land in problems. Because over spirituality and pride will destroy your marriage. You can't handle too much closeness to a friend you have known all your lives and even had some sexual interaction with. In your marriage life, your heart is always involved. Set boundaries. Be disciplined, be cordial, be respectful, be godly, be holy. Don't share personal problems with somebody you have had something sexual with as you are growing up. It will create a bond. Problem creates bond. You must always remember. Because it's emotion. Don't always contact them when you have things. The minute somebody is your secret admirer, always remember that you are already fond of that person. And there is something tingling in your heart that makes you to think of that person. Tread with care. Avoid unnecessary things. Don't compliment people you love unnecessarily to tell them you are romantic, you are sexual. You are creating unnecessary trouble for yourself. Anything that is private is left for your partner alone. Avoid discussions with the complementary sex when you are tired, very sad, depressed, sorrowful, drowsy, sleepy, very sick, even in the middle of the night. Avoid it. This can cloud your judgment and make you say silly things. Talk to your husband or to your wife. Avoid unnecessary compliments. Work on your marriage. Keep the fire of love and romance alive in your marriage. Before we had this marriage, you knew all the eateries in Nigeria. You were going to all the cinemas. You were going to all the beaches. Now that you are married, when last did you go to a beach together? If your wife puts his body on you, oh, darling, you are sweetheart. Even when she has this kind of mascara on her face, it thrills you. After marriage, she's now a load. The minute she puts you, say, darling, you are heavy, you push her away like you use short put. Just push her away. And she goes. Think, my dear friend, when last did you rejuvenate your love? Protect your family. Don't share your marital problems with your complimentary friends. It will only create that bond. Never flirt with a complimentary friend. Mind the pictures you post on social media. Limit pictures that shows your curves or portray you as sexy. You don't need it if the person is not your partner. You only create unnecessary problems. Like I tell them, when you are coming for marriage, the man will dress very well, put on coat, cover himself. The woman will now wear skimpy cloth and everything. I say that is advert. The minute you do advert and you attract somebody, so what will now happen? The fact that you are on your wedding day means therefore that you are no longer available. So there is no need for you to be doing advert. Hips don't lie. Who is talking to it? Whose business? You are married, you are married. Stop focusing on your spouse's weaknesses and appreciate their strength. If you always see the bad side of your spouse, you will be angry, bitter, critical, and look for someone who can understand you and make you happy aside your spouse. This is the beginning of an emotional affair and eventually sexual affair. It is the beginning of the end of a once glorious marriage. Flee, my dear friends, from all appearance of evil is what the Bible says. What you will not eat, don't bring it to your nose. Don't smell it. Don't start what you cannot finish. Avoid all emotional and sexual affairs. They will destroy your marriage. Please seek for the fruit of the Spirit called self-control and always anchor your thoughts on Philippians chapter 4 verse 8. I pray for you on this day that may your marriage not be a burden to you. May you find peace, unity, love all the days of your married life. No matter what you experience, may you never sink. May God keep your homes, your marriage, and keep you pure to the reign until this side comes again in His glory. This is my prayer for all of you through Christ our Lord.